Today I want to share with you the biggest differences between being an entrepreneur and being an employee. And I think you're going to like this one today because I'm doing something that I haven't done in a really long time. Let's roll the intro and I'll tell you about it in just a second. Hi, my name is Jim Hart. I'm the founding attorney here at Hawthorn Law. It was an amazing day today. It was a great day to be an entrepreneur. And today I want to share with you, as I said at the beginning, the main differences between being an entrepreneur and being an employee. And before I get into that, today is going to be a little bit different. I haven't done a video like this in a really long time. Today's video, I'm going off the cuff. This is not scripted. I'm just kind of running with it and see where this is going to go. I realize a lot of you are like, that sounds really stupid. Why the hell would you do that? But stick with me here. I think some of my most popular videos happened when I went off the cuff, so I'm gonna try that again. All right, so I got the idea for today's video this morning when a couple of things happened. First off, I got an email from someone who basically told me he didn't like my emails, or she, I'm not sure if it was a he or she, but they told me they didn't like my emails, I was rambling too much, and they just didn't enjoy it. This comes on the heel of I get so many people, so many of you that reply back to me that tell me how much you actually like my emails and the information I'm providing. So for those of you that do that, I really appreciate you. But occasionally, a couple times a week, I get an email from somebody who just basically I think is having a bad day, or maybe they just are unhappy with their lot in life, or who knows what's wrong with them, but they want to shout out and basically send me a scathing email about how I suck. It happens. And so I replied to this person as nicely as I could that, in case you weren't aware, because I know a lot of you that are running online businesses probably don't know this. I'm just kidding. I know you know this. There is a big button at the bottom of the emails that says unsubscribe. You can click that button and you don't ever have to hear from me ever again. In fact, please do, because if you don't like hearing what I have to say, it's just one less person for me to have to pay for each month on my email list. Then I got an email from a former client of mine with my law firm who had some issues that had come up and she really wanted to hire me, and she's going through a lot of issues that basically she needs help with. And we've been going back and forth on email several days. She's a lovely woman. I helped her. I got a really good result for her several years ago. She wanted to hire me because some things have cropped up again that she needed help with. And I told her no. And I told her no because although I really liked this person, she was a really great client, the things she was telling me in the email about the case that I would have to deal with moving forward were not the things that I want to handle at this stage of my legal career. So that's the first difference between being an entrepreneur and being an employee. When you are an entrepreneur, you get to pick and choose the people you work with. In fact, I would recommend you do pick and choose the people that you work with, because the people you're going to work with on a daily basis in terms of your clients and the customers you work with, if you don't like them, your life is gonna suck. And as an employee, you don't have any choice in the matter. My wife last night, who is an attorney that works for the state of North Carolina, let me know, she's like, oh, I'm so busy, I just got another case. She doesn't have a choice in that matter. She has to take that case whether she likes it or not. Now granted, she really enjoys what she does and is a good thing that they keep sending her cases. That means she's got job security. But the fact of the matter remains, if a case came across her desk that she really hated, she doesn't have any choice in the matter. Myself, on the other hand, I do have a choice in the matter. And if there's a case that I don't want to take, if there's a client that I don't want to deal with, it's real easy. I can just tell them I don't want to work with them. I can decline representation on that case, or I can refund their money and tell them to go find another lawyer. Now, I will tell you, I do use a little bit more tact than that when I'm dealing with my clients. Frankly, I believe very strongly in customer service and giving the best possible result to my clients. And to be honest, if I feel like I can't give them that result because I'm not invested in their case, then I am doing them a service by telling them to go someplace else or referring them to someplace else. Which leads me to yet another example of this. Today, I was talking with somebody on the phone. I could have helped them with their case. I could have helped them with their situation, but I spent the time, instead of trying to brainstorm how I could help them on the phone, we spent the time trying to come up with the issues that they really had to deal with and finding an attorney that I knew in my network that I could refer them to. And that's exactly what we did. This person is going to get far more value from me if I push them off to another attorney who I think can actually help them with their situation than if I try to fit a round peg into a square hole and help them in an area that maybe I'm not adequately prepared to help them with. So there you go. That's the major difference between being an entrepreneur and being an employee. And that's the first thing. You can pick and choose the clients. Now, there are a lot of other differences between being an entrepreneur and being an employee. Let's go through them a couple at a time. Blah, 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 I can't talk today. All right, maybe this will be better. Side note, the attorney I share office space with downstairs who rents from me is actually moving out at the end. I don't know if I can say that. He's moving out at the end of the month, which means I'm gonna have the whole place to myself, at least for a little while, which means I can go back to using my coffee machine. And you know what that means, I can drink some coffee on camera. Okay, so the next major difference between being an entrepreneur and being an employee is that an entrepreneur, aside from picking and choosing the clients you wanna work with, the sky is really the limit on what you can earn as an entrepreneur. If you provide a lot of value to the world, you can make a whole lot more money providing that value. On the other hand, as an employee, your earnings are capped based on the salary that your employer chooses to pay you or not pay you. I mean, they can cut your salary too. They can choose not to give you a bonus at the end of the year. You're basically limited in the amount of money you can earn to the amount of money your employer is willing to pay you. And I talked about that several weeks ago in my video on the different types of self-employed people that there are. And you really want to move to, if you're going to be an entrepreneur, you want to move as quickly as possible from one-to-one client work to one-to-many client work. And for many years, that was the big hang-up I had as an attorney, is trying to figure out how it was that I could help more people through my law firm than just one-to-one. And that's when I found YouTube, and YouTube is great. I love YouTube, and you should too. If don't have a YouTube channel, I highly recommend starting one because it will change your life. Which leads us to the last main difference between being an employee and an employer, and that is the amount of hours you work. This is probably the biggest downside to being an entrepreneur, at least initially. When you first start out your online business, you are going to be working a tremendous amount of hours. You may not think you're going to be working a lot, but you're going to be working a lot. For me personally, I get up at 4:35 a.m. every single morning. I typically try to go to bed early, but right now it is 6:30. I've been at work for basically 10 hours. I have to go home. I've got to help my wife with dinner and get the kids ready for bed and things like that. And then tomorrow morning, I'm going to be up at 4:30 in the morning, again, doing it all over again. And now that's at least initially, but let's talk about what it looks like to be an employee. As an employee, you don't have to work 80 hours a week. You can work a normal week and go home at 5 o'clock when it's time to leave. You can go to work at 9, get off at 5, you're done. So that's pretty cool. That's one of the nice things about being an employee. I'll be honest, you get your 2 weeks vacation, etc. You're good to go, and you got benefits. As an entrepreneur, it's all on you. At least, again, at the beginning. As your business starts to grow and you start to assemble a team and you have more people that are working for you and you start to systematize your processes and your clientele continues to grow, it becomes more and more obvious that at some point you're going to be taking more and more time off from the business to do things that you actually enjoy doing. So right now, although I'm working 50, 60, 70 hours a week, that's not always going to be the case. So there you have it, the 3 main differences between being an entrepreneur. Number 1, you can pick and choose, and you should pick and choose your clients that you want to work with. Number 2, see, this is the problem with going off the cuff. Sometimes you kind of forget what number 2 is. I'll be honest, I forget what number 2 is. And then number 3, over time, as your business grows, you're gonna be able to take more time off from your business to spend with yourself and your family. Oh, I just remembered number 2. Number 2 is your income potential is not capped as an entrepreneur. You can make as much money as you want. I firmly believe in an abundance mentality, which means there's more than enough money to go around in the world. And if you're an entrepreneur who's providing a ton of value to other people, it's gonna come back to you in spades. Yeah. So there you go. If you like what I'm talking about, make sure to check out this video right here, and where I talk more about entrepreneurship and productivity and earning money and things of that sort. I look forward to seeing you in the next video. Have a great day, folks. Enjoy your weekend.